What up, everybody? Let's talk about it. How to Get Away with Murder, Season 4, Episode 4. All right, I'm just going to get some of these smaller stories out of the way first. So the first thing I want to talk about is Connor and Oliver. So this week, Connor and Oliver are still trying to adjusting to the arrival of Connor's dad from last week. Connor is really kind of acting funny this week. He really don't want to talk about his dad and Connor doesn't really know why they don't talk to each other and why they don't deal with each other. And Connor tells him that it's because his mama had a nervous breakdown after the dad came out of the closet and left her. So this is not great. As Connor's getting up to leave in the morning, Oliver is getting an instant message from one of the dads, and he answers the message. So he already doing sneaky stuff behind his back. So they end up going to lunch together, and they talk about when Connor came out of the closet. So Oliver's like, I really probably should be hearing this story from Connor, but Dad goes ahead and tells the story anyway. He said that when Connor was 12 years old, he came to the dinner table and told him and his wife that he was gay, and if they couldn't accept him for who he was, that he would just move to the West End with his people. And he tells him how Connor gave him the courage to come out because he knew what he had to do after that. He knew he was gay. He had known it all along, and so he needed to come out. And 1 week later, he came out at that same table at dinner. Probably not the best way to do it, Dad. I mean, I get that he inspired you to come out the closet, but being that you was 45 years old, have been married to the mom for however many years, at least 12 years, probably more longer than that, though. You coming out at the table and then leaving your family, I mean, that might not have been the best way to do it. Now, Oliver, at the beginning of the show, was basically like, well, it was harder for me to come out then. Is it really his fault that your mom had a nervous breakdown? And so, kinda ain't really trying to hear all of that, and that's that. We go on later, they're supposed to meet everybody is supposed to meet the dads, and I kind of forgot what happened with that part. Did they end up meeting the dads? It was one part where he brings the dads home after they ate lunch together, and Connor's like, I'm ready for you. He's naked, when they come home. Because Connor is like, he's just here for the money. He's not here to, be my dad. Basically, he's here to get the money that I got from the school as a refund last week. At the end, though, the interesting part is that Connor talks to his dad, and his dad tells him that he doesn't think that Oliver is the right guy for him. He thinks that he's pretending, just like he was pretending with Connor's mom. And he says that, Oliver is just not the guy for you. You deserve to live who you are 100%. And he says, I know you. And I used to envy you when you was a kid. And Oliver is just not that guy. So now we have kind of a disconnect because I thought that they really liked Oliver. Connor does seem unhappy, but it's not because of Oliver. He just seems unhappy with his life and where he is at this point. That was pretty much all we had with their story this week. So this week, Annalise begins the show by working on her class action lawsuit, gathering information about what she needs to do. At the same time, kids are in class with the new professor, and the professor is giving them the rundown on class action lawsuits and how they work and what do you need. First thing you need is plaintiffs. She needs at least 40 plaintiffs to agree to file this class action lawsuit. She also needs the face of the case, somebody who's going to be camera ready, sympathetic. And so old dude with the tattoos all over his face, he ain't gonna work. She gotta find somebody. The most important thing they will need is money. And it's so sad because Asher got that answer wrong. I was like, oh, Asher, you can't never get nothing right. We man, no job. She also decided that she's going to look through Virginia's old cases to find any other cases that she may have neglected or any other clients that have been, messed over by the system. Annalise decides that she needs some money, so she goes to Soraya Hargrove. So she goes to see her at Middleton. He's like, girl, I can't hire you back. They ain't gonna let me hire you back, child. I mean, I know you ain't trying to get no job back. But I want you to hire me back. Gives her the, guilt trip. You owe me this, you owe me that. She wants to work on her custody case with her husband. She said, we're just in mediation. Basically, now we're just trying to settle. He's like, well, look, I'll come in as a consultant, and if I get you a better deal than what you got, you pay me. If not, we can just call it the truth. Sounds like a no-brainer to her. Bonnie is still obsessed with Annalise this week. So Bonnie has taken it upon herself to go to Denver and say that she wants to look at Virginia's cases to see if any of them were overzealously prosecuted to kind of stop the problem before it happens because they're about to open up all of her cases because of her neglect of this one case. So Denver is like, okay, you can get a little bit of staff to look over them. That staff is you. So once again, Bonnie has taken it upon herself to stick herself in Annalise's Annalise's business because she's obsessed with Annalise. Why are you mad, girl? I need to know. I have all the questions. She gets Nate to help her figure out what's going on with this one particular case. Nate goes to find out whatever happened to this file for this case. He runs to, when he gives this information to the clerk, she just got off the phone with Annalise, telling Annalise how much money it's going to cost for her to get all the cases that Virginia had printed out. She's like, can I just get the name and, the title page with the name and the defendant's name? It's still going to be $3,000. This is what prompts Annalise to go to Hargrove. So now we're back with Michaela and Teague. Michaela and Teague are getting ready to walk into this case. And Teague is like, girl, you better be glad. You're lucky to be seeing a big play at work, girl. That's me, girl. That's me, girl. Because I'm the queen. They go into the office, and lo and behold, guess who is there? The client is Soraya Hargrove. Annalise is there consulting. As soon as Michaela see Annalise, her face changes because Teague did tell her the only reason she was there because she was bait because they want Middleton as a client, and Michaela went to Middleton. Michaela's like, that's not, that wasn't, maybe, but it was too late. They walked in the room, she sees Annalise, and Teague is like, oh, you know Annalise? Commercial break. I was like, the read is coming, honey. The read is coming fiercely. We're in the meeting negotiating, and Annalise is doing her thing because the man is talking to the client reckless. She's like, you need to stop talking to my client like that, or we're gonna file a defamation suit. And so they said, okay, you want to talk about defamation? And he pulls out a flash drive. Apparently her husband has been recording every incident that she was drunk and putting the kids in danger, and he's threatening to give this over to the court or into her job. Once they make it public domain, then her job can see it and everything, and she will lose everything if they don't give her $10 million plus, was it full custody of the kids? Or, yeah, I think it was full custody of the kids and the $10 million. Annalise got it down to $6 million just in that meeting. Like, she did all of that by herself. She was smashing that meeting, low-key. And Teague didn't really know, like, you can tell she was unsure about how to jump in. It was like, who gonna be leading the boat? Am I gonna be leading the boat? You gonna be leading the boat. So they get all upset and they leave. And Annalise is like, we need to fight. You need to strike back and get your damn kids back and stop, basically letting them do whatever to you. And she's like, Teague is like, we need to take a beat. We need to, think about what we're gonna do. And Annalise like, nah, we don't need to take no beat, girl. We need to do what we need to do. Fight. Hargrove is like, let's fight. Let's hit them where it hurt. When they're wrapping up for that day, Annalise comes to Teague and was like, okay, well, is it cool if, we work on the first draft, or if I can see the first draft of the lawsuit? And Teague is like, girl, Michaela, can you think of any reason why I would want to work on a lawsuit that I absolutely disagree with? And Michaela was, girl, she tried to be line sister and was like, nah, girl, I can't think of a reason. Really, bitch? Oh, you want it with Annalise? Oh, okay. They walk to the elevator, and Michaela runs behind Annalise and like, here's the address for Barry, whoever she needs to send a brief to. If you can have it by the end of the day, X, Y, and Z. Annalise is like, tell T she can kiss my ass. I don't take orders from her, girl, and you can use those exact words, honey. Michaela says, we need to put our differences aside for the good of the client. Do you think that we can do that? And Annalise says, I think you need to step off my elevator before I beat your ass, before I peel your muffin cap black blue. At least I was like, I done punched that whole dead in her mouth. Ooh, Annalise. Ooh. I felt it rising up on the inside of her, because if she would have stepped on that elevator, them doors would have closed, or Annalise would have tagged her head, would have snatched that leave out. Sidebar, why does Michaela have a leave out in 2017? Like, she can have the most fabulous, the most beautiful, the most laid down closure like you can ever find. This is a Shonda Rhimes show. I know they can find a closure somewhere, or frontal or something that looks like real hair. Like, why is Michaela still walking around in 2017 with the leave out? And it's a noticeable leave out. It don't even lay, like the edges don't even, like, what are we doing? We need to work on this. Like, her hair start way back here, y'all, and that's not cute. That mean that you wear weave so much that your edges is kind of leaving you a little bit. And so that's why you got to start your shit way back here. We need to get her a closure because we want to save her hair at the top. And because this hair right here on the top is this long. That's how long it is. That's about 2.5 inches. And if she keep wearing that leave out like that and putting that heat on, she ain't gonna have no hair. So I need for y'all to get her a wig, people. They make lace wigs. That's the bomb. I know you can drop 2 G's on the baddest lace front. We're gonna have to keep Michaela lifted because not only is she a bitch, mind your business, Her leave out is jacked up. Like, she got a lot of issues. Annalise is at her therapist's office and she's sending the email at the same time of the brief, and she accidentally sends the email to the wrong person. We don't realize that till later, but that's what happens. So she goes into her therapy session with Isaac and she's talking about the case and how she knows that he doesn't agree with what she's doing, but she feel like she helping people, and he's asking her why. She like, listen, I'm in a good mood. Don't mess up my good mood with this boo. And he like, no, it's my job to ask you why you doing the things you do. Like, what is motivating you to do this? Why do you feel like this? Is this because of your client? And she said, yes, it's because of Jasmine. You know, Jasmine got beat up by the system, and you know, it's for all the people that get beat up by the system. And he says, no, not Jasmine. It's for Wes. And then he starts reading what she said at her hearing with the bar association, and about how the man who had so much potential died because she decided to take a drink, and her immense guilt for that, and that's why she's taking on this class action lawsuit. But Annalise continues to push back against him, saying that he's trying to betray her and X, Y, and Z. So y'all, she's determined to take on this class action lawsuit, and I have a feeling this is all going to bring her down. So Michaela finds out that she cannot get into Teague's files because Laurel has asked her to, you look through the files, and she makes, I forgot about that, she made a comment about Asher's butt because she's like really horny now that she's not on antidepressants. I don't give a fuck. I don't nobody care about Laurel, child. I wish she would just, she makes my skin itch. She asked Michaela to try to look into the files like they've been talking about, but she finds out from another associate that she can't get into the files because she's just an intern. She has to have permission from Teague to have access to those files. So the email that Annalise sent out to the wrong person is found out. This is a board member for Middleton College. And of course, now they're threatening to get rid of Hargrove. So everybody's all upset about this whole issue, and they're trying to resolve it. So her and Hargrove talk, and basically they commiserate over their alcohol struggles because she thinks that Annalise was drunk when she sent the email. She's like, no, I was in therapy. You know, I have to go to court order therapy. It's working out, X, Y, and Z. So she promises her that she's going to help her solve this case. She's going to do everything she can. So Hargrove kind of, you know, simmered down a little bit to her. Now, on the other hand, Teague and Michaela are talking about her like, was she ever good at her job? Like, Teague makes a few quips, and Michaela, to my surprise, she did try to defend Annalise a little bit and say, well, you know, she's been through a lot. It was kind of weird, though, because it's like, Michaela, pick a side. Like, either you defending her or you not going to defend her, girl. We're not going to go back and forth with you with this. Annalise, in one of her sessions, basically talks to Isaac about what is he reporting on her, because she gets a glance at, you know, his writings, his notes. He says, I have to do a 1-month progress report. So later on in the episode, she gets the email from the doctor, and he's giving her his glowing progress report, right? Saying that she is doing good and she should be able to continue on, you know, practicing law. But in his notes, at the end of the episode, we see that she is a trigger for him. He says, Annalise is a trigger for me. I need to be mindful. And he goes into how her immense guilt for Wes's death is propelling her to do this. She's a workaholic, so she may show her up all night getting information together, trying to get stuff together for this case. And she's really putting herself into this case to kind of distract herself from the issues that's going on or not going on in her own personal life. When he's doing his notes, the light comes on in his office, and he's like, okay, my next client is here or whatever. So he opens the door, and lo and behold, guess who the hell it is, child? It's Bonnie, bitch ass. Bonnie is sitting out there, but he's like, hell, Julie. Her name is Julie or something like this. So I'm like, is she trying to find information about Annalise? Or is she going and she don't want anybody to know? Like, I'm not exactly sure what's going on with Bonnie, but Bonnie is a snake, and I don't know if they turning her into because, you know, and How to Get Away with Murder does a lot of mind tricks. Like, they make you think she's going to be a villain, but she turned out to be helping Annalise in the end. Also, another part is Nate confronted her at the end of the episode because he knows what he's found out. He figured out that she up to something because they looking at the same cases. So he's like, what you up to? And she tells him, I'm filing a class testing lawsuit. If you say something, it's going to mess everything up. I haven't got no clients together. You know, just don't say nothing or whatever. Like, Bonnie don't know nothing about it. I'm doing this for the right reason. He like, you ain't never on the side of right. But my issue with him, once again, is she ain't suing your ass. So why is you worried about it? Mind your business. See, had I ran into him in the hallway, he would have said, what you up to? And I would have said, I'm up to minding my business. Why don't you mind yours since you don't want me in your life? Since you don't want me nowhere around you, why are you always in my business, child? She's suing the government, sis. Nah, If he was the lead investigator on some of them cases, maybe he would get in trouble too or lose his job as a result. I'm not exactly sure. But the fact of the matter is, he ain't named in no damn lawsuit. So he needs to mind his business. Because he said something about, I know you talking about getting people out of jail, but you put me in jail. And she was like, and look how easy it was. You know who they put in jail? You know who they put in jail? So don't act brand new. So when he goes to Bonnie to give her the answer to the whatever paperwork they needed for that case, they don't show him saying anything to Bonnie. Not exactly sure what's going to happen with that. Maybe he going to say something to Bonnie. Maybe he won't. I'm not exactly sure. I don't think he will though, because I think deep down they just ride him. He love Annalise. He just don't know what to do with himself, okay? She put him through a lot. With this Hargrove case. So after Annalise gets the note from Isaac about his 1-month progress review, a spark flames in her brain and she says, we need to subpoena his therapist notes. Well, how are we going to get those notes? Teague is like, how are we going to get the notes? She like, well, if he says he's under emotional distress, then we can subpoena the notes. And they find out that he was having, or they think that he was having an affair. But he was meeting with this person named Sue. Hargrove is like, I know who Sue is. So they go to the meeting. It's all 3 black women. It's like 4 black women, okay? Because I think Hargrove is Puerto Rican, so she black too. So it's a whole lot of black girl and brown girl magic up in the room. Like, I was feeling it, honey. Them hoes don't get along, but guess what? They pull together for the good, okay? I was like, y'all better pull together for the good. For the good of them. For the good of them. I said, y'all better pull together for the good. Yes. They sit down at the table and we pull the notes from the therapist. You met with this person on this day. Well, Sue is my financial advisor. I'm not having no affair because they like look at the clause in the prenup and it's about adultery. So they bring it out like that. And he don't lie. He say, oh, well, you know, that's my financial advisor. So you saying you met with your financial advisor on this day. Well, yes, 3 months before the divorce. Yes, and when you met with this person, you was discussing basically your finances. So he, like, this money is from a company that she had before she worked at Middleton, or a broadcasting something she started before, and so it's worth a lot of millions of dollars. So that's why they signed a prenup in the first place. So basically, after he met with the financial advisor, he started stealing money from her, taking out small amounts of money and, you know, putting it somewhere else. And so they're like, you want us to go to the police with them? That's a federal offense. It's embezzlement. We could do that, or we can just give you this $1 million and we're going to give you joint custody. And she's like, I'm giving you $1 million so that you can take care of my children the way they need to be taken care of. You going to take it or you going to leave it, boo-boo? And so he took it, and that was it. So once again, Annalise won. She didn't need none of y'all bitches to do it. Well, she kind of did, because Michaela did work with the interns to come up with the answer, but Annalise would have came up with that shit without them. It don't even matter. T was impressed. I love the fact that they had camaraderie at the end and wasn't no hating ass shit, you know, like they got along with each other. And she was like, look, if you need a job, just let me know. I could talk to the guys upstairs. And she was like, you know, that's good to know. So Michaela gonna walk her ass out the office and follow Annalise to the elevator. And baby, let me tell y'all know I've been waiting for this read forever. She says, no, you don't get to work here. You told us to go back to the people we were before we met you, and nobody is good with you in their life. So you don't get to come up here. You don't get to do this. I got a mentor, a real mentor who's gonna help me, and blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. And baby, Annalise turned around and said, you're doing it again. You came to me looking for a mama. And now you're here looking for a mama. You're looking for a mother everywhere you go to replace what your mother never was. Baby, I live. Like, that read cut Michaela deep down in her soul. Do you understand? Annalise just read your life, sister. She didn't even curse you out, girl. She didn't even breathe hard. Like, she didn't even look like upset. She just let you know, baby boo, I'm not your mama, girl. And all you doing is looking for a mama because yours was trifling as hell. How she just read your whole life? Like, I was like, I don't even know why Michaela be big talking noise like Annalise can't read you in 3 sentences, girl. She read the shit out of her. Oh my God, y'all. Michaela was standing at the elevator like, no, it's not. I Y'all know I hate Michaela. Michaela goes to Laurel at the end of the episode and tells her that she knows a way to get into Teague's files. She's going to call Oliver, basically, to hack into the files. So we already know it's about to be some shit. So our flashback for this week is Bonnie is walking on the elevator. She's going up to the office. When the office opens, it is the firm that Michaela works for. She's walking into that office space that they have. And so when she's coming into the elevator, she's calling that doctor. Because like I said, we found out she was his patient. Calling him, but he does not answer the phone because he's hugging Michaela at the hospital. So she comes into the office and there's blood at a desk somewhere, and then there's blood splattered on the window like as if somebody got shot in the head. That's what it looked like. Somebody got, not in the head, but got shot because there's a blood splatter on the window, and they're telling her that she needs to talk to a witness. So the witness is there, child. Lo and behold, is Oliver. Why the hell Oliver always a witness to every damn thing? Like, and I think him and Connor gonna end up breaking up, or I think that Connor's dad has put a little bug in his ear, and I think Connor's a cheater, so he gonna fuck his arm, but he gonna fuck it up. He gonna fuck it up. Oh, I forgot to say, Laurel screwed Frank, but Laurel is trash. I'm over it. On the next episode, he talking about something, is this my baby? Let me can find out that Laurel been out here giving everybody guilt trips and making everybody feel like trash because of West and about to throw her whole life away, won't comb her hair, won't put no clothes on, won't go to no interview over West, and she was still screwing Frank this whole time. Girl, let me find out. Laurel is pure trash. I am over her square jaw, upset, melancholy ass. And Frank. Because Frank is a pitiful. Earlier in the episode, Frank brings money to Annalise's house, the money that's in a suitcase, and she tell him to get the hell away from her door because do he know what's in that suitcase? That's her dead baby. I mean, Frank, you didn't think about this, like, you know, and I was glad she didn't take the money, because why would you take the money that he got paid to kill your baby, to ensure that your baby didn't make it out of baby land? That's some bullshit, Frank. And he looked so pitiful and pathetic trying to get back close to Annalise. Why won't he just move on with his life? He fine or whatever, but he whack. Because it's like, why you keep climbing up after Lord, talking about planning baby showers and whatever you need, I'll be there for you. Man up. But overall, this was a really good episode. We not gonna get no information about what's going on. I'm not even worried about flash forward till later on, because you know they're not gonna give us no information till we like in the 8th, 9th episode. Then they might start giving us a little bit more. But we have 13 episodes, guys. So you know, How to Get Away with Murder does a lot of misdirection. So where we thinking Isaac might be a bad guy, this week I was kind of like, maybe he's not a bad guy. When I heard his actual notes that he's taken by himself, maybe he's not a bad guy, you know. But what the hell is this trigger that he talking about with Annalise? What's going on with that, guys? As far as Laurel goes, she can kick rocks. All I want to know is what her family has to do with Wes, and how does Denver connect to all this, because he was looking at her make copies, because she has figured out that that guy who worked for her dad's company supposedly died in a mysterious way. Now he's donating money to John Denver's campaign. He's supposed to be dead. So we need to figure out what's going on with that situation. So it's a lot happening. All right, I want to hear your thoughts. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you guys next week. Peace.